Hello, welcome to this lecture on displacement and position sensor. This is the lecture 6 for Unit 1 for Mechatronic System. Myself, Lopri Singh, Assistant Professor, Golgotia University. And today's lecture we will discuss about the displacement and position sensors. As in last class, we have discussed about the basics of sensors and classification of sensor, then some part of signal conditioning. In the today's lecture, we will study the different component of displacement and position sensor and their functions in a mechatronic system. In the displacement and position sensors are basically displacement sensors are basically used for measurement of movement of object. The position sensors are employed to determine the position of an object in a relation to some reference point. The proximity sensors are types of position sensors are used to trace when the object has moved with a particular critical distance of the transducers. This is a potentiometer sensor where this is direction of rotation. This is direction of rotation here. Here, this is direction of rotation. This is string or cable. This is the coil spring. This is potentiometer. Okay, this is the resistance strip, that is vibes are used. So, as discussed in the last slide, this is the construction of a rotary type potentiometer sensor that is employed to measure the linear displacement, and the potentiometer can be of a linear or angular type. It works on the principle of conversion of mechanical displacement into electrical signal. The sensor has a resistive element and a sliding contact. This is the resistive element here, or this is the sliding contact. The slider moves along the conductive body, acting as a movable electrical contact. This is the direction of rotation here. This is the sliding part. The object of whose displacement is to measure is connected to slider by using rotary shaft. This is a rotary shaft. This is connected with for a angular displacement, a moving rod for a linear displacement, or a cable that is kept stretched during operation. So this is a potentiometer sensor. This diagram shows that this is potentiometer sensor. As discussed, this is a movable contact, sliding contact, which is connected with the rotating shaft, uh, for the which the displacement is to be measured. This is direction of rotation. This is the direction of linear motion, and this is string or cable. This is coil spring. This is potentiometer terminals, and then there is a resistance strip. As seen in the last slide, this is potentiometer. This is electric circuit for this potentiometer. So how this potentiometer measures this displacement? So during a sensing operation, a voltage Vs is applied across the resistive element. A voltage divider circuit is formed. This is voltage Vs is applied here. Here, this is Vs voltage that is applied across the resistive element. A voltage divider circuit is formed when the slider comes in contact with wire. This is a sliding contact. Here, this is sliding contact. This is resistance R. The output voltage Va. This is the output will this is V naught. This at this point, this is Va is measured. The output voltage is proportional to displacement of a slider over a wire. Then the output parameter displacement is calibrated against the output voltage VA. So VA is equal to I into R, but I is equal to Vs upon Ra plus Rb, that is the resistance A plus resistance B. Therefore, resistance across A, the voltage across A is equal to voltage across S, that is source applied across source, into resistance across R, divided by resistance of A plus resistance of B. As we know, resistance is mu into L upon A, where rho is the electrical resistivity, L is the length of resistors, and A is the area of cross section. So VA is equal to VS upon LA divided by LA plus LB. Next is the application of potentiometer. These sensors are primarily used in control a system with a feedback loop to ensure that moving members of a component reach its commanded positions. So as this is displacement sensor, so it's used for control of feedback loop. These are typically used to in the machine tool controls, elevators, liquid level assemblies, forklift trucks, automobile throttle controls. In manufacturing, these are used in control of injection molding machines, woodworking machinery, printing, spraying, robotics, etc. These are also used in computer control monitoring of speed equipment, that is sports equipment. Next type of the sensors are a strain gauge. The strain gauge is an element, is a ratio of that measures the ratio of change in length in the direction of applied load to the original length of the element. The strain change the resistance R of the element. Therefore, we can see that delta R upon R is proportional to our strain. Delta R upon R is equal to G. G is the constant of proportionality that is called gauge factor. In general, the value of G is considered between 2 to 4 and the resistance are taken in the order of 100 ohms. So this is the pattern of resistive file. This is the connection, that is the connection leads is there. This is connection lead. So here in this case the wires are used. In this case the metal foils are used, which can connect the different this connective leads to another. This is a Wheatstone bridge, that is basic principle that work behind the strain gauge. In this, the Vs voltage is applied across this resistance. When there is a strain, there is a change occurs in this resistance. So this change in resistance is measured across this common point, that this is V naught. So the application of strain gauge, the strain gauges are widely used in experimental stress analysis and diagnosis of machines and failure analysis. These are basically used for multi-axial stress fatigue testing, proof testing, residual stress and vibration measurement, torque measurement, bending and deflection measurement, compression and tension measurement, and strain measurement. The strain gauges are primarily used as sensor for machine tool and as safety in automotives. In particular, they are employed for force measurement in a machine tool, hydraulics or pneumatic presses, as impact sensor in the aerospace vehicles. Next is the capacitive element based sensors. The capacitive sensor is of non-contact type sensors and is primarily used to measure the linear displacement from few millimeters to hundreds of millimeters. It comprises of three plates with the upper pair forming one capacitor and lower pair another. The linear displacement might take in two forms. That is one of the plate is moved by displacement so that the plate's separation changes. Another is the area of the overlap changes due to displacement. This is a schematic diagram of a three-plate capacitive element sensors and displacement measurement of a mechanical elements connected to a plate. This is plate 1, plate 2, plate 3. This is a three-plate capacitive element sensors. This is connected to an element. This is a displacement measurement through a change of plate separation. This is if there is change in plate separation, then there's a dx, that this d and x is measured, and this is displacement measured through a area of the overlap. If there is a change in the area of the overlap, then this is also measured. So displacement measured using capacitive element based sensors. So here is a basic principle behind this capacitive element based sensors. The capacitance C of a parallel plate capacitor is given by C epsilon R into epsilon naught into A upon D. Epsilon R is the relative permittivity of a dielectric between the plates. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, and A is the area of the overlap between two plates, and D is the plate separation. As the central plates moves near to top plate or a bottom one due to movement of element or workpiece of which displacement to be measured, separation in between the plates changes, and this can given as C1 is equal to epsilon R into epsilon naught into A divided by D plus X. D plus X is the separation distance. C2 is equal to epsilon R epsilon naught A divided by D minus X, where C1 and C2 are connected to a Wheatstone bridge that is resulting out of balance voltage that would be proportional to displacement X. Next is the application of capacitive element sensors. There are so many applications of this capacitive element sensors. One is the feed hopper level measurement, and then next is a small vessel pump control, then the grease level monitoring, then the level control of liquids, then metrological application to measure the shape errors in the part being produced, to analyze and optimize the rotation of spindle in a various machine tools such as surface grinder, lathe, milling machine, air bearing spindles by measuring errors in machine tool themselves. Then assembly line testing to test assembled part for uniformity and thickness of a other design feature, to detect the presence or absence of certain components such as glue, etc. Next is the linear variable differential transformer LVDT. The LVDT is a primary transducer used for measurement of linear displacement with an input range of plus minus 2 to plus minus 400 mm in general. Its a non-linearity error is 0.25% of full range. These figures show the construction of LVDT. Here is the tip, this is shaft, this is spring, there is core, there is primary core, there is secondary core, then this is core cable. The same principle is used in liquid measurement flow sensors. The control coil is primary coil and another two are the secondary coils. The secondary coils are connected in series in such a way that output oppose each other. A magnetic core is up to the element which displacement of magnetic place inside the insulated tube. So this is armature. This is primary coil. This is secondary coil, and this is another secondary coil. So the difference between these volt output can be measured, and this as this armature moves to this way direction, so there is difference in this voltage. So that difference can be measured so that linear variable differential can be found. So in continue to last slide, due to an alternating voltage input to the primary coil, alternating electromagnetic force, that is EMF, are generated in the secondary coil, and when the magnetic core is centrally placed with its half portion in each of the secondary coil region, then the resulting voltage is zero. If the core is displaced from the central position, as shown in figure this here, say more in the coil 1 and then in the coil 2, then the more EMF is generated in the one coil and coil 1, that is coil 1 and then another. The resulting voltage from the coil, if the voltage the magnetic core is further displaced, then the value of the resultant voltage increases in proportion with the displacement, and with the help of signal processing devices such as low pass filters and demodulators. Precise displacement can be measured by using LVDT sensors. So the LVDT exhibits a good repeatability and reproducibility. It's generally used an absolute position sensor since there is no contact or sliding between the constituent element of sensor, which is highly reliable. These sensors are completely sealed and widely used in servo mechanism. Automated measurement in the machine tool. A rotary variable differential transformer, that is RVDT, can be used for measurement of rotations. The reader are suggested to prepare the report on the principle of working and construction of RVDT sensors. The application of LVDT sensors are measurement of spool position in the wide range of servo valve application, to provide the displacement feedback for hydraulic cylinders, to control weight and thickness of medical products, that is tables or pills, to automatical inspection of final dimensions of product being packed for dispatch, to measure distance between approaching metals during friction welding process, to continuously monitoring fluid level as part of leak detection system, to detect the number of currency bills dispensed by an ATM. These are the applications for LVDT. You can see how many mechanical applications are there for LVDT. This is a home assignment for all of you. In this assignment, which is supposed to submit it before the next class, the first question is explain the principle of working of LVDT. Describe the working of RVDT with neat sketch. List the application of potentiometer sensors in around your home and university. These are the reference books from where all the references are taken, so you can consult these books for your further study on this topic. Thank you. Thanks for your patience and listening this lecture. Thanks a lot.